Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our MXGP TV studio show here, round 6. It's the MXGP of Portugal, and on today's show we have Michele Cervellin. He's already in position. We've got Brian Bogers coming in, and also Justin Amian, who is a team owner and team manager for Team Diga Procross Husqvarna. Of course, they had a fantastic weekend last week. But before we go anywhere, Lisa Leyland is here as always. Here we are in Portugal. Have you tried out yet?
Just about. Just about. It was a wet one last weekend, wasn't it?
It was.
It was all right for you, though, because you were in your little cosy booth, your little commentary booth.
I was in the broom cupboard.
You were in your little cupboard. Paul has a little cupboard. No, but it's good. The sun seems to be shining here, so far, so good. It
is. Well, look, let's move on with the show. And as I just said a moment ago, our first guest is in Michele Cervellin. And he, of course, rides for Yamaha SM Action MC Migliori. And he's just back from his home Grand Prix a week ago, just like all of us. Michele, welcome to the studio show. After 5 Grand Prix, how would you describe your season so far?
Yeah, hi everybody. Yeah, the season start. Well, it start not like what I want. It's some up and down. Like I made a good race in England with the first moto, finished 5, but till the last lap with Watson. But yeah, now I know the season is long. We keep working with the team. Also, the bike is new, the new Yamaha. And we don't are like a factory team. The factory team start with the bike already the end of the season, and we start late when the season is already start, and it's difficult. No, everything is new. We need to work on engine and like this, but every week we go in better, and I hope for make a good race, good result, and the season I know is long, and we can do.
When I look at the results, they're up and down.
Yeah.
Maybe some, like you say, is just because you start late with the bike. But are you also missing some consistency as well? If so, why is that?
Yeah, maybe also the track was not really till now. Maybe Arco England is maybe for me is my style of track, but Mantua is sand, Argentina is like sand, and till now the track was, I think, is better for me. Like Portugal is hard pack. After we have France, Russia, and I hope to be more consistent. It's really important on the long championship like this. I know last year I do many time a lot in the top 10, and I think it was good for the championship.
Well, after a difficult GP in Argentina, you mentioned it just briefly. You looked more confident in Matterley.
Yeah.
I think you were 5th in that first race. That was your best result so far. Just tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm feeling good with the track. It was a good day, and yeah, it just happened. And I want more race moto like this, and I hope to, till now, have a race like this and battle with the guys in front.
Yep. Well, you were 9th in race 2, which gave you 7th overall in Matterley. Yeah. You obviously liked those track conditions, but then going to Valkenswaard, you seemed to struggle again.
Yeah, again, Valkenswaard, sand, and was a little bit, not a little bit, but was difficult. And yeah, maybe we need to go on Belgium, Holland, and keep working on the sand and for the rest of the season.
Like Evo.
Like Evo, yeah, I do amazing start of the season. Some bad luck for Evo, but yeah, he started really good the season, training a lot on Belgium, and was good.
Just looking at the track there, every time we see it, when we go, for the race, and then we watch on the TV, it looks like a fantastic place to ride. Wide, big jumps, a lot of space.
Yeah, always the track is amazing. No, he's always ripping. Is always funny. Every track is funny for riding, and yeah, is normally some track is better. Some track for me, for my style, some track I struggle more, and it's like this.
Well, let's talk about the 2 GPs in Italy. The first one in Trentino, 9th and 12th there, the 2 races. But I guess you were disappointed with those results because that is.
Yeah,
a home race for you, literally.
Yeah,
not so far
also
away.
The track is good. I like. Yeah, it was no good start. On qualified race, I made a good race. I think I don't remember, but maybe I finished 6th. So I don't remember. but I'm start good. And on the 2 moto on Sunday was not good start and it was difficult to pass, the track, and yeah, it's a little bit disappointing for the race, but yeah, it's like this.
Yeah, well, last week in Mantova was a difficult weekend for all of us. But
Mud bath.
But what, yeah, typical. But what happened in race 1? Because you were actually in 3rd, and then it looked like you had a problem. What actually happened there?
Yeah. I made a good start, but it's a really important that condition. And yeah, it sometimes happen. It's motocross. Is like this. When you are 3rd, is not nice, but. Yeah, we have one little problem on the bike and with the muddy, but it's like this. We're looking forward for the next race.
But the conditions there, as you said, as we could see, very, very difficult.
Yeah.
It was important to make a good start. Did you feel relaxed while you were in 3rd position before that? Because you had a good gap to the guys behind.
No, I feel the guys behind me was... Iago passed me before I brought the bike, but Poches, Beaton, I know, but I want to stay focused on the race. I know less risk possible. The race is long, and like that condition is really important. Not crash, not lose time.
Yeah. Obviously, now we are going to be into the second part of the season. Really, 6 races in 7 weeks. Obviously, we had Mantova last week. We're here. We go to France 1 week free. Russia, Latvia,
Italian
Germany.
Championship in the week free.
Wow.
Yeah, never stop.
Busy.
Yeah.
And you also have another championship before Indonesia as well, after Germany, or not?
I think yes. We have Italian Championship. I don't know now, but we have many races every weekend.
Yeah. So now it's important to be more consistent, work on the starts.
Yeah, for sure. We try to start to work to the start in front. And because I saw it's really important, like the level is high, and when you start on the back, it's difficult to pass for stay in front.
All right. Well, look, Michele Cervellin, thanks for joining us here this weekend.
Thank
All the
you.
best. We have a social media question.
Yes, we
social
do.
media question first.
We have a question, just one from GM Pietro 10, and he says, what is your workout during the week?
Depends. When after the race, like Mantova, maybe Monday, some easy cycling for recovery. And me, this weekend, I ride in Wednesday and Thursday. And after we go some cycling and running, and like this every day.
Okay.
Sounds tiring.
So you're pretty fit then.
Yeah. Well, look, we are out of time with Michele. Michele, thanks a lot. All the best for this weekend and the rest of the season. And we wish him all the best as well. But our second guest is in position, Brian Bogers from Team HRC. We'll catch up with him in a moment. But first, let's see some highlights from that muddy race last week from Mantova. Here's highlights from the Monster Energy MXGP of Lombardia. There were 1 or 2 itchy fingers at the start of race 2. Cervellin getting caught out, so too did Ben Watson and Mitch Evans there, number 43. The 61 of Jorge Prado thought he'd grabbed the whole shot, but it was his teammate who bagged his 4th Vauxhall shot of the season, number 28, Tom Vial. Not so much carnage through the first turn this time, though. But Prado did not need long to find his way past Vial. Before the end of the lap, the 61 was up front. Vial was there in second, but behind him, David Puches, 46 on the Diga Procross Husqvarna. Thomas Olsen, the championship leader. Those two would change positions during the next couple of laps. And also in the mix was the 29 of Henry Jacobi. But not before Puches found his way back past Thomas Olsen to hold on to 3rd position momentarily. Olsen sensed an opportunity. He dove down the inside of the number 46 to make his move into 3rd place. Whilst behind them, the 29 of Jacobi was not too far away. He was in 5th place. He then ruffled the feathers of the young Dutchman, and at that stage knocked him off the podium in what was a very tightly fought contest indeed. Jacobi then thought he got the better of Vial. But then Jacobi started making 1 or 2 little mistakes that allowed Puches to go back through. Jed Beaton was right behind them as well, also in the mix. Somehow, Puches rode his luck on more than one occasion. Jed beaten though after a fantastic first race, crashed out heavily in Moto number 2 whilst in 6th place. He would eventually only pick up 17th place. Jacobi took one off-track excursion too many, and eventually the German was out of the race and out of 4th. The rider who sat 3rd in the championship would not pick up any points in race 2. It was a tough day at the office for all riders in MX2, but Jorge Prado danced his way to victory for another perfect day here in Italy. He has now won every race he's entered. He picks up his 4th Grand Prix victory of the season. Olsen 2nd overall. Davy Puches on the podium for the first time in his MX2 career. That's some 4 years for the young Dutchman. 7 points now separate Olsen from Prado. Jacobi now slips to 3rd, but 43 points behind his closest championship rivals. But another fantastic day for Jorge Prado, but Olsen still holds the championship lead. Hello everybody, welcome back to our live studio show here, round 6 of the FIA Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Portugal here at Agada. Our second guest is in our studio, and Brian Bogers from Team HRC. And Brian, welcome to our studio show, but I checked yesterday, the last time we saw you as a guest on the studio show was June 24th, 2017. Great to have you back. That's almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years, yes.
Is it good to be back?
Yeah, really good, really good. Especially, last year I almost haven't been on the motocross races at all. So, it's actually only 1 year that I haven't been here. But
but in terms of the studio show,
exactly.
Normally we would have had you in at some point last year.
I hope so.
Yeah. Oh, of course. But just fill us in really briefly. After the Motocross of Nations 2017, you got injured. It was a bad injury. Why did it take so long to get back? What were the kind of complications you had to face?
First, I crashed in Italy.
Yeah.
So and it wasn't allowed to fly back for surgery to Holland. So I had my surgery in Italy, and the doctor didn't make it so proper. So I needed another surgery in Belgium because it wasn't good at all. So they made it quite good, I thought. But after 4 months, I could start again. And after 2 weeks, I broke it again without crashing, without anything, doing stupid, So I had to do another surgery. So it was, what can I say? It was every time I got the bad luck. And that was my 2018 year.
Wow.
So is everything 100% healed now?
Yes. For now, everything good. I still have a small movement which I cannot make, but I don't feel that on the bike. It's only walking outside. So that's the only thing. But on the bike, I can do everything 100%. So.
Brilliant. Well, so after everything you've been through, just tell us, how special was it to get that 2nd place in race 2 in Mantova?
Really special. It's unbelievable how it feels. I worked really hard last winter, and especially after 10 months doing nothing, it's really hard physically and mentally to come back. It's to get back up the level, and I think I showed some good lines, good speed, good performance. So it's really important for me that this happened. Maybe I was a little bit lucky because of the mud and a good start, but still you need to do it, in that position with the pressure. Because you see, Jonas was quite on the gas. So, I still managed to stay 2nd, and I feel very good about that race.
Well, in very difficult conditions, it was important to get a good start. You did that. But were you nervous being up front, and especially like you mentioned, Jonas kind of catching you later on there in the race? That must have been pretty nerve-wracking for you.
Well, to be honest, I felt really comfortable in that place. So I hope to do that more times. So no, I felt good on that place. Yeah.
Good. Well, look, more from Brian in just a moment, but let's just give you another quick reminder as to how you can watch MXGP in 2019. Here's another quick reminder then about how you can watch MXGP this year with our MXGP TV season package, which includes live and on-demand action from every round of the season, including all qualifying races, the FIM Monster Energy Motocross of Nations, WMX and all EMX races. Of course, it's the only place to watch every second, every weekend, every race of MXGP live. Also included is our studio show and 26-minute highlights program Behind the Gate, available every Tuesday after each Grand Prix. So for more information, go check our website mxgp.com, and enjoy, folks.
Absolutely. Well, back to Brian, back to Mantova. That second place helped you get a top 10 finish. You also scored 9th in race 2 in Trentino. So are you hoping that this is perhaps the turning point to get your career back on track now?
Yes, exactly. But still the level in the MXGP is really high. So, yeah, what we told before, the starts are really important. But I'm for sure when I take good starts, then I can stay with the top guys because mentally I feel good, physically I feel good. So yeah, I think this is the point. Yeah, to turn everything around and get more often in that top 10.
So how do you see the rest of the season then? I mean, what would be your ultimate goal?
On the end of the season, I want to be very close to the top 10, maybe in the top 10. So yeah,
on a regular basis.
Yes. So yeah, that means that I need to be more often in the top 10, and yeah, we will see what it brings. And I just give it my all every weekend, and let's see what it brings.
And do you kind of have one eye on the final race of the year?
Yes, of course, but that's
Motocross of Nations in Assen, by the way.
Yes, but that's up to the Dutch Federation, and but if they chose me, I will go 100% for that race.
And it's actually been quite a good past couple of years, hasn't it? On the podium, the last 3 years.
Last 3 years, second.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Fantastic result. Well, Brian, we have a question for you on social media. The same as Michele's from GM Pietro 10. What is your workout during the week?
During the week, I start in the weekend because the weekend is quite heavy for us. So on Monday is normally rest day, recovering day, just a little bit of cycling. Tuesday, Wednesday riding. Thursday one more workout, and then Friday we are traveling to the GP. So it's not too much, but if there is a possibility to go in a gym in a hotel or something, then we will do another kind of recovering from the traveling, and then the weekend is already there.
Yeah. Especially now it's so busy. But I guess all the work is done during the winter, all the big work.
Yes and no. But for me, I still had to build in the winter, so I couldn't do quite a hard workouts because then the next day I felt completely
finished.
Yeah, finished. So I had to build it up. And so that's maybe why I struggled a little bit in the beginning of the year. But now I'm feeling physically better and better every race.
All right. Well, look, Brian Bogers, thanks for joining us. Team HRC, all the best for this weekend and the rest of the season. We are in a busy period now, but hopefully you have no more problems. Brian Bogers, everybody. Right, our final guest is in the building waiting to come onto the studio show live. That's Justin Amian. He's the team owner and team manager for Team Diga Procross Husqvarna. But before we meet him, let's check out some of the highlights from MXGP Race 2 last week in Mantova. As he charged down the start straight, 2:22, Tony Cairoli surveyed the scene all around him as he went after foxhole shot number 7, which he took with both hands. Ivan Monticelli fell going into turn 2 and would not rejoin the race. Cairoli started to open up a gap. Paulin was well placed in second, just ahead of Brian Bogers, the lead HRC rider. And another good start for the 41 of Paul Jonas as Simpson and Anstey collided. Simpson would rejoin the race, but Anstey would not feature anymore. Geiser on a charge, found his way past Commander Sal to move into 6th. The Monster Energy rider coming back from a knee surgery. His teammate, though, went out on lap 9 from 9th place. Glenn Koldenoff on the 259 and Tim Geiser were involved in a race-long battle, but it would be the Dutchman that would win out. Cairoli stalled momentarily, but he always had everything in hand. His gap was getting bigger with each passing lap.
Paul Jonas was resurgent. He looked like he found his way down the inside of Brian Bogers, but the Honda rider won out, and Jonas was lucky to escape a crash at the midway point of the race. He clung on for third on his Rockstar Energy Husqvarna, number 41, the former MX2 world champion. Meanwhile, Tim Geiser was back to his usual tricks of race 1. He threw away the goggles, he rejoined the race. He didn't lose any track time though. He would eventually come home in 6th as the number 21 of Gauthier Paulin on the Monster Energy Wilvo Yamaha maintained a solid 4th position and was on course for a back-to-back podium. More problems for Geiser in the latter stages of the race. It was just one of those weekends for the winner of Trentino. Coldenhoff and Geiser were never too far behind Paulin in the late stages of MXGP Race 2. As Sean Simpson went out, he would not score points. Tony Cairoli, though, was invincible here and made everybody else look relatively ordinary in what was a very difficult racetrack. A double moto win for Tony Cairoli ensured his 89th career victory. Paul Jonas on the podium for the first time in MXGP with a 2nd and a 3rd, and 2nd overall. Paulin a 6th and a 4th. 3rd overall for the Frenchman, who maintains 3rd in the championship ahead of Jasikonis. DeSalle and Siwa advanced a couple of positions, and that was your podium here at the Monster Energy MXGP of Lombardia. Tony Cairoli giving the fans exactly what they came to see. He now has a 40-point advantage over Tim Geiser. Paulin 26 points further back as we head to Portugal, round 6.
Welcome back to our live studio show here, everybody. Round 6 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Portugal at Agata. Our final guest is in position, Justin Amian from Team Diga Procross Husqvarna, of course, team owner and team manager.
Yes.
Welcome to the studio show.
Thank you very much.
First time for you.
Yes.
And I guess the first time for our viewers to kind of get to know who you are. So maybe just give us a brief background as to who you are. Did you race as a kid? How have you come to be in the paddock running a team?
Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you for the invitation from you guys. And I think you make a brilliant job here for the MXGP, especially you, Lisa, and you.
Thank you.
And yeah.
You were first.
Ladies first.
Especially you, Lisa.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much.
You did it very good, and always, you know, it's always on point. Okay. Yeah, I'm Justin Amian, come from Cologne, from Germany. I was a young kid, I was riding by my own. I had always a passion for motocross. I was a young kid and was going to the GP events with my parents. And that was always a dream for me. If I across the paddock, you know, I see the big trucks and the riders, and that was always looking on point, and that was always a dream for me. And Sunday evening, always when we start to go back home, then was a little bit sad because, that was, I think for a lot of guys that is... It's not only a sport, it's a passion. Sure. And then I was riding by my own. And then step for step, I had the opportunity, for sure also from my family, that I can start up from my own. And then step for step I start to build a team completely by my own. Yeah. And that was the beginning.
And here you are. Obviously, it's not easy running a team, particularly in MX2. So presumably you get a lot of help from people like Husqvarna and a lot of sponsors that makes it all happen.
Yeah, for sure. At the beginning, we start as nobody. I had nobody to help me. I was completely new in the GP, and before the regional championship, like German championship, like the Dutch championship. Yeah. I had at the beginning very hard to work to get a little bit, you know, success, to find the right guys around us. And for sure we was before with other sponsors, and now it has become more and more and more professional with us, and we grow all up. We have a fantastic team around us. Imagine last year at Mai we changed from the EMX team to a GP team, you know, and 1 year later we stay on the podium at the GP. This is for me unbelievable. Yeah. I can't. Every day when I start in the morning, I think about this. This is like the biggest adrenaline, the biggest injection what you ever can have. You know, this is unbelievable, and I don't want to miss it. We work so much for it. The team, every mechanic, every part of the team, the rider for sure. He have to do it at the end. You know, with Davey. I have not so much word for that. It's unbelievable.
Well, look, we've got about 5 minutes left. So, Lisa, just over to you when you're ready.
Okay, your first full season in MX2, your first podium. It's the
Yes.
kind of thing, like you mentioned, that dreams are made of. But what does it actually mean to you on a personal level to get that podium, to get that success?
Yeah, that was my biggest dream in my life. I never imagined that we can make this happen. But yeah, after when Davy crossed the finish line, unbelievable. That feeling, I think, you never. It's like I was there, staying in the pit, and when you cross it, was
Yeah.
I think you never can. So many emotions, so many hard work from everybody. When I see the father of Davy, he was so full of emotions, and same to me. Sometimes I cry a little bit when the race is good for my rider.
Yeah.
And then he crossed it. It was
You
unbelievable.
waited a long time for that as well.
Yeah, for
didn't you?
sure, for sure. And I like it to give it also back to the sponsors. They stay a couple of years behind us, you know. And yeah, this is. I think if you don't have it by your own, you never can. You never can feel how it is.
Lisa?
Okay, so what now for Diga Pro Cross, and where do you go from here? You've got your first podium now. Where?
Yes, for sure we can't not expect to go always on the podium because yeah, we are not a factory team. We have maybe a little bit of factory flair, but we are a satellite team of Husqvarna. I'm very thankful about Robert Jonas, about Diego Clement to give us the opportunity. We was really working hard for that. I expect always from Davy to develop. I don't give him any pressure. He have to race his best, and if the best is 5, 6, 7, or 8, so then I'm happy with that.
Okay.
So.
Well, it wasn't just Mantova, was it? It was also Matterley. He was showing signs of getting back to his former self. 6 overall there,
Yes.
2 solid rides. I guess for you, you started to see what you'd kind of bought into, really. I mean, you maybe already knew anyway, but it was just like everything started to come together for him there.
Yes, I was very happy with that. I say to Davy, doesn't matter if you finish 5th, 6th, 7th, 12th, or 15. Make your race, you don't have any pressure from us. We stay behind you. And I think the last time, a lot of guys lost the trust in him. And I trust him. We make a good plan together with Mark de River together. And yeah, it worked out. So he from last year to this year, for sure, he changed a lot. He have the right people around him. For sure, there is a lot of what we can improve more. But step for step, we race World Championship and not an amateur championship.
But as you mentioned, Mark de River, he has upped his game this year, hasn't he? He looks a little bit more focused. He looks like he wants it a bit more. He's training a lot more serious. And actually, looking at his results, he's finished top 10 in every race that he's finished.
Yes, I'm honest. At the beginning, a little bit with Mark, I was thinking, I don't know, really, because this is our GP rider. For sure, I want the best for him. And yeah. I don't know, but okay, we make a plan together and say, okay, we train with Mark, and I think that Davy is now on the podium, or was. This is a big part of them is also Mark. So Mark make a brilliant job. He is crazy, funny, but exactly he know what you have to do.
Yeah.
So and this is it.
Okay, and obviously here we are in Portugal now. A lot of people will say last week was a leveler. It brought everybody at the same level because of the weather. But what do you hope from this weekend here in Mantova, in Portugal? Because we've seen Davy was already starting to build, and you have to master all conditions, don't you? And is he coming here full of confidence after last week?
Yeah, for
like
sure.
The weight is finally off his shoulders?
Yes, for sure. He said to me that the last 4 years or 5 years he had the big package on his shoulder, and finally he was once on the podium. It is off now, and now we feel a little more like free. For sure, it is possible. So we see that everybody start to believe in more and more, but he will focus 100% on his race. My job is don't to give him pressure, that we make the same like the races before, because that work. And yeah, for sure also that we can't not expect every race now that he is top 3. This is not fair. But I want only that he finish every moto, 2 races, every weekend, so then I'm happy.
All right. Well, look, we are out of time. Justin Amian, thanks for joining us here. Thanks
Thank
to
you.
all our guests as well. We have Michele Cervellin and Brian Bogers in here. We are out of time. As you can hear, there is action out on track. But on MXGP TV today, 4:05, we have 1:55, we have the first of the 2-stroke championship, 4:05 WMX Race 1, and then the qualifying from MX2 and MXGP, 4:45 and 5:30. They're the broadcast times of the races. But thanks for watching. We'll see you next week in France for round 7, where we'll do it all again. See you then. Bye for now.